Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. The grind continues. I've been watching some of the videos of the reaction to the CC drama that's going on. It's still lingering, and there's been some backlash, I guess, against some of the CCs, the content creators in Wargaming's content creator program, when they booted IYOUXN from the as being a CC. And I'm not going to get into all the details, but you know, you guys have seen all the videos. You've kept up with all the drama more than I have. And at the back, there's been some backlash. I think some of the other CCs that really didn't step in and support him are getting some of their followers are pissed off, I guess. And, because I guess they agreed with his assessment that this, whatever it was, the tiered loot boxes, he was kind of the first one that said, no, we're not. I'm not gonna pump out any content on these. And then after pressure, most of the other CCs said they weren't going to make any content on them until after the sale. But then he was the guy singled out. Let's not get into the details, right? But basically, he was the guy singled out and booted out. And there is an element there of Wargaming saying, hey, look, this could happen to you. If you badmouth us, if you step out of line, you guys, no more free tanks for you. We'll boot you too. And he was the kind of the guy at the bottom of the list, and they threw him out. I feel kind of sorry for him. You can have whatever opinion you want. Let's not get into it. The point I want to make is I'm a little bit surprised that at the CC, the other ones, their reaction, they're not to kind of use their power to stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, he's one of us. Okay, you're upset. Issue a warning or whatever, but you got to deal with all of us too. You know, like stand up for each other. Together they have power, you know. They're the only advertising this game really has. There's millions of people, well, not millions, hundreds of thousands of people that view them, but they've chosen to kind of like just go quiet about it and, you know, won't hear anything, go along like nothing happened and hope everyone keeps watching and hope they keep making their money making YouTube videos. And I make YouTube videos as well. I pump out content for my viewers to have fun. And I have my niche, and of course, we make content. I have fun making the content, but part of it is because we get a little bit of our feedback as we make a little bit of money on ad revenue. Nothing wrong with that. Everyone has their living. But I'm surprised these CCs have not used their power, or they just folded so quickly. This leaves a. And one of the things was, well, you can criticize Wargaming, but you have to really be careful. You can't be rude. You can't insult. You know, someone crossed the line. But holy shit, guys! Like I gotta tell, I've got a little bit of history in this. Okay, let me just share a little bit of history with you guys. Quickie Baby was the guy that noticed put the first video out about these game rigging cheaters that were working together to try and rig games, and he did a video about it. It was exposed. We all watched that video and said, wow, that's pretty bad. Thanks for showing that. And everyone condemned the cheaters. And then all the CCs, right after the video, they just went quiet about it. No more. Oh, okay, thanks, Quickie Baby. We've had our chat with Wargaming now, and no one say anything anymore. And who put himself out on a limb? I'll show you. Here's my playlist. Here's the videos I put out on cheaters. Wargaming, are they still cheating? These are all the videos I put out. Game rigging, prick cheaters. How many videos did I put out on that? Cheaters exposed over and over and over. And I exposed them. Oh, you're not supposed to name and shame. We have a policy that we don't name and shame. But fuck you. I named and shamed hundreds of them. Hundreds of them. And who was making videos on this while I was doing it? Nobody. Look at this. Pro cheaters caught and exposed multiple games. I exposed all of them. Help me get cheating EU clan officers banned. I named them. Wargaming, 21 cheaters in one game. Eventually, after years, Wargaming started getting serious about stopping this cheating and game rigging that was going on. But do you think it would have taken years if all the CCs had come on board and used their collective power and exposed this and pounded this issue? They would have fixed it in a week. And even before that, when I started the game, remember 10 years ago when team damage was still a thing and the physics were different? And the game was infested with assholes that tried to destroy your games? Well, the CCs weren't really talking about that too much. There was only one. The Mighty Jingles, who was exposing assholes. I guess the word was, hey, don't expose all the assholes in the game. No naming and shaming, and no exposing anything bad that's happening in the game. Well, who's the guy that introduced the biggest asshole series for years and years? The biggest asshole, number 14, with over 250,000 views. Who exposed assholes in this game? Week after week after week after week after week. Thousands of assholes who got banned. Oh, you're not allowed to name and shame. You're not allowed to show that stuff. I have to shout out the Mighty Jingles, who, when I was doing those biggest assholes videos, promoted my channel and exposed even more. And of course, he's one of the first guys that just stepped down and said, I'm done with being a CC for World of Tanks. Oh, we have to be very careful how you can't be rude or disrespectful when you're pointing something out to Wargaming. It matters how you say it, how you phrase it. You can't point out anything bad in the game unless you say it properly. There's a way of doing it. Do you remember when Wargaming? This is years ago, when they used to sell us these premium matchmaking tanks, the original tanks that were in the game. Preferential matchmaking tanks, I mean, like the KV-5 and the IS-6. Tanks that had a speciality in the game, but weren't overpowered. Like, for instance, the IS-6 and the KV-5 had really good armor, but they had terrible guns. The KV-5 had a tier 6 gun, the same gun as the T-150. The IS-6 had a terrible gun with really low pen, but they had really good armor. So to make credits, you could buy these and you wouldn't break the game. They wouldn't be overpowered. And to kind of help you in your enjoyment of them, you got preferential matchmaking, which meant you would never see tier 10s and you would quite often see tiers 7s and 6s. And then Wargaming came up with the plan that they were going to rework all those preferential matchmaking tanks and just buff them slightly and change them slightly. And they would just go into regular matchmaking. And, the people are like, I don't really know if that's a good idea. I bought these tanks. I spent a lot of money on them, and I don't want you to change them now. And who was the biggest vocal person against this? Was it all the CCs that banded together? Well, I know what I did. That's a Russian refund. I coined it right here on this channel. So come on. Like, do you think I'm a fucking moron? Like, holy shit, guys. Not rocket science. What I want with my tier 8 preferential matchmaking tanks is that sometimes I will be bottom tier and have tier 9s and 8s. Sometimes I will be middle tier and I will have all tier 8s. So I will be bottom tier sometimes, middle tier sometimes, and sometimes I want to be top tier. And I'll be in a match with 8s, 7s, and 6s. That's all I want. I want to sometimes be bottom tier and get shit on. Sometimes I want to be middle tier and I can have an average game and fight as hard as I can. And sometimes I want to be fucking top tier. That's all I want. Okay? I just want to be top tier some fucking time. The Mighty Jingles promoted my video, the Russian refund video. hashtag Russian refund trended all over the World of Tanks community, and Wargaming dropped that plan. Oh, you have to speak to them in the right way. Did I enunciate it properly? Was I polite enough in my delivery? Guys, what's happened to everyone? The CCs. Like, do they not realize the power they have? Back then it was just me, the black sheep of the family, okay? I always stood up for the little guys. I always called them out. You're not allowed to name and shame. I named and shame. You're not allowed to show this. I showed this. Please don't talk about the cheating. I made fucking dozens of videos about the cheating because that shit has to get called out and the community appreciates it, right? So what's wrong with the CCs now? Do they not realize what kind of power they have? Who's the kind of the leader, the most senior? And I guess Quickie Baby's the biggest one, right? Quickie Baby. Oh, I'm on IYOUXN's side now. Why don't all of you just demand that they bring him back? Or if that's too much, why don't all of you at least to your audience say, please go and subscribe to his channel? They just booted him out a la Sir Fosh. If you're following me, if you want to show some support, go and subscribe to him. Give him another 50, 60,000 subs. You know, you got the power. And they're just done, and it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. It's like everyone just looking out after themselves, and they're too scared. Oh, what if Wargaming bans me now? And I don't want to ruffle too many feathers. And like I said, I don't know all the details, and you may have different opinions. You may say, yeah, he was right to be banned, or no. But the poor guy it's a lot of work making videos. He's got a following, he streams, he makes videos. That's his livelihood. And the guy worked hard to get, and then was banned. It's going to affect him a lot. At least, whatever you think, throw him a sub. Get his channel numbers way up so that he gets a little bit more exposure. And, he can continue making videos. They're not competing against each other. I'm not competing. Someone like me or IYOUXN or Skill or Quickie Baby or Des Games or anyone. We're not competing against each other, you fucking morons. It's a big community. The more content there is and more people watch content, they bounce around. People have their favorites, but it's not a competition. It's not like if someone watches one of my videos, he's not going to watch a Skill video. You can watch any video you want. And these guys are just like one of their own. It just, to me, it's like a teammate, right? You're playing on I played hockey, right? You play hockey, there's 20 guys. You're good friends with one or two of them, but it's a team of 20. And like a spectrum in any team, there's the guys you like, the guys you're kind of indifferent to, and 2 or 3 or 4 guys that you really don't like, but they're on your team. When you're going across the blue line and one of the guys you don't like is heading for that, you pass the puck to him, right? If someone on the other team hits one of your guys, the guy you don't like, you slam the other guy into the boards and you say, he's my fucking teammate. And you stick up for your teammates, even if you don't like them. That's how I was brought up. They're on your team. So what's wrong with you guys? Anyways. I digress. I shouldn't get involved. I know. I have nothing to do with the drama. I was not involved at all. And I don't know all the details. I'm just shocked at the apathy of the CC community in World of Tanks now. I mean, compared to like World of Warships, right? When some BS started in World of Warships and Jingles was the senior guy there. And the Mighty Jingles doesn't take any fucking bullshit, okay? He's a man of principle. And the bullshit started in World of Warships. And they all fucking quit. And they weren't like, oh, I'm going to quit. They won't give me any more premium ships. What am I going to do? They all quit, and Jingle still makes content of World of Warships, and he's doing fine. And they stuck up for each other, and they were a group. And World of Warships suffered from it for the lack of CCs. Maybe it'll convince them to stop being so fucking selfish and think more about the community. Anyways, that's my 2-bit rant. It's been a fucking long time since Klaus Kellerman did a rant. And it's when you pick on the little guy, you know, when you just, and that's what it was. There might be other factors, but one of the big factors is let's kick out the low guy on the list. You know, the troublemaker, the guy that we're not so sure of. Let's kick him out and make an example of him and instill fear into the rest of them. The beatings will stop when morale increases. Fuck you! And what's wrong with you guys? Grow some balls! That's all I got for you guys today. I'll catch you all on the next one.